They're still on bikes? Oh, she a crip? Is that Vecna?
Found you.
Woo!
Past seasons leaping.
It's kind of bad though, y'all.
One bus with what might be
Video. Stranger Things 5. How long has it been since Stranger Things 4? Actually, we finna see. When did Stranger Things 4 come out? Oh yeah, it was a part 1 and part 2. May 27th? Oh my gosh. May 27th when it came out. 2022. It is 2025 and we're finally getting the last season of Stranger Things. Is that not crazy, y'all? Now I know like COVID messed it up, the writers' strike and stuff. Like, bro, that is crazy. Let's check it out though. Let's see what it's talking about. Let's see what these little trailers. It's like an official like teaser clip or just like a oh, hold on, let's see. Oh, okay. Teaser. They're still on bikes? But if you don't get a car, a driver's license, are we serious right now? They're still on bikes? Wait. I don't want no subtitles. So we have Will, 11. She like a tomboy. Nancy and Lancey.
Burn commencing in 5.
Will's mom. Joyce.
4.
Caleb. I think his real name is Caleb. I don't know what his name is in this. I forgot. I don't know who this is. Who that?
Come on.
Oh, Hopper.
2.
I forgot their names, man.
And
Goosebumps. This November. They still on bikes. That's crazy, buddy. Edward Munson. Who is Edward Munson? I'm telling y'all, I need a recap. So like in like October, I'm gonna just recap, watch it, and then I'm gonna, burn in. Dang.
After what we've been through.
Oh, that's Dustin. That's Max.
This thing.
She's still in the hospital? Dang. Upside down. Ooh. Is this the new crew in the Upside Down? We got Nancy, I forgot their names, bro.
It ties us together.
Hey, it's the OG group.
Together. Forever.
Alright. Oh, she a crip? The final chapter. Ooh. Whoa! Demogorgon. Oh, that was kind of fire. Like, it's like this music plus that. Ow! Got that 2-barrel shotgun.
Wherever this blood leads.
Oh, snap.
I need you to fight one last time.
Dang, what's happening?
Let's end this, kid.
Does Elle have her powers? Ooh, it's Erica. She grown now, man. Oh, it's Finn. Or, yeah. Is that Vecna?
Found you.
Woo! Bro, even though it's been like forever, I still gotta get hype. I'm still excited. Like, I don't get how they're gonna beat Vecna. Unless L has her powers, bro, they're not beating him. As you can see, they're just baiting us. Volume 1, November. Volume 2, Christmas. They're just dragging it on. The finale is on New Year's. Like, come on, man. Just drop it all at once, bro. We ain't trying to wait, like, for 3 parts. Ugh, I understand you're trying to be cinematic, but I'm not gonna lie, though, y'all. I am still excited, even though it's been forever. I'm so excited. With that being said, we're on to the new Rockstars. We're finna see everything that we missed.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss. And
I'm just curious who's gonna die in this final season. I'm just curious.
welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and this is a breakdown of the trailer.
I'm curious who's gonna die, man. Who's gonna die,
For
bro?
Stranger Things Season 5. This trailer is exactly how I love trailers for movies and series. No spoilers for the plot, just a well-edited tonal suggestion of the vibe of the story.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. It
The
really wasn't any
style.
talking
I
or nothing. It
love
just
breaking it down and looking for details on how the Vecna will return for this final season and which of these characters will die.
I forgot what
Just
happened.
Some other fun
I forgot what
nods to
happened,
80s
bro.
pop culture that we either grew up with or were like told about by our older cousins, so
what
that it kind of
happened.
feels like it's stuff that we lived through. I am just so excited to be covering this show
wait.
again.
Question: So are they done filming this, or is this like still being filmed? I'm assuming not. If it's going to come out in November, I'm assuming it's done with filming. But I'm curious, like when the filming wrapped up, because again, it's been years.
Is covering Stranger Things Season 1 back in 2016.
God
was one of the
dang.
first videos I ever hosted for New Rockstars. I've had even this shirt for nearly that long, so I'm kind of emotional now that we're finally at the end of the road. All right, let's get
That's
started
crazy.
with this trailer. Now, the first shot we see is of Steve Harrington in this van with the padded ceiling, the wood paneling, an orange
Okay.
sticker reads, "Pollution
Lock in.
sucks," because this was 1987 and there was still a big old hole in the ozone layer that had not been repaired yet,
Okay.
and people still cared about air quality.
I didn't
This
know that.
van is part of the WSQK radio station, 94.5 FM on the plate there, and it looks like a wolf made of electricity on the side. This is the radio station several of the characters now work at this season. We later see Dustin wearing a
See, I forgot how it ended. I forgot if it ended on like a cliffhanger or if it ended with like something bad happening to like. All right, I don't know. I forgot how it ended.
QK shirt. So what is Steve doing throughout this trailer? He seems to be using
Dang,
this
boy.
WSQK 50,000 watt antenna on the building to amplify their own frequency up to 100 decibels to send some kind of signal. Maybe all the way
Okay.
to Dimension X. Maybe to try to lure
Dimension
Vecna
X
into a
was- I thought it was
trap
called
or
the Upside
something.
Down.
We hear the voice of Mike Wheeler broadcasting burn commencing in 5, 4, 3, 2. So what do they mean by burn? Like is the military burning the different dimensional rifts? Or are they trying to burn down the entire quarantine town of Hawkins to the ground just to be safe? Or is
That's a
our
fire
crew
shot.
igniting a kind of torch or a beacon? Maybe like a flame trying to draw in the moth of the Vecna. Also, should we read into this trailer opening with Steve and focusing so much on whatever he's doing here as a possible clue that he could be the sad, sad death of this season? Nancy Wheeler does sob later while wiping blood off her hands.
I
They
could
make
see
it's
that.
either going to be Steve or Jonathan.
I ain't gonna
And
lie.
most are assuming it's Jonathan because we don't see a whole lot of Jonathan in this trailer, but there's that emotional moment where Dustin is hugging Steve where it looks like Steve might be about to make a kind of sacrifice play. Just as a recap, season 4
No
ended
facts.
with the gang in the Upside Down battling the Vecna. We learned that
Yeah.
Vecna was originally the psychic kid family killer Henry Creel, aka test subject 001 in the Hawkins lab, who met 11 and in 1979, 4 years before the events of the series, killed all the other young test subjects and tried to do the same to 11, but then 11 sent him through an interdimensional gate to Dimension X as he transitioned into the Vecna. There, the Vecna hijacked the Mind Flayer to gain control over its hive mind abilities, and then on November 6, 1983, 11 formed a second gate that created the Upside Down realm, which we learn in season 4 was a kind of artificially created buffer zone between Earth and Dimension X that really just like throws in time a mirror world of
forgot about
Hawkins,
this,
Indiana,
bro.
from that exact night of November 6, 1983, and it stays frozen at that point in time. 11 and the others realize the connection between Vecna and Henry Creel as Vecna races to make a fourth kill to make a breach between Dimension X and Earth. Max initially escapes him by hearing her favorite song, Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill, establishing that if you're able to listen to your comfort place music, that is one way you can resist him. But then after the kids use Max as bait to lure in the Vecna and successfully blow his corporeal form to pieces, Max ends the season in a coma.
Yeah,
while
she in
Eddie
a
Munson,
coma.
played by now Johnny Storm actor Joseph Quinn, went from Hellfire Club Dungeon Master and Satanic Panic falsely accused murder suspect to a sacrificial hero who dies after a sick guitar solo.
He was the
despite
GOAT.
Everyone reunited, including Hopper, freed from the
Except that cringe meme, Chrissy wake up. Yo, you gotta hate Stranger Things, like fans, bro. So cringe. But he was the GOAT. He was.
in prison and revealed to be alive to 11. The season ends with Will Byers feeling the tingle on his neck, and the kids see the rifts opening in the hills around Hawkins.
Oh, is this
The
how it
official
ended?
synopsis of season 5 is as follows. The fall of 1987. Hawkins is scarred by the opening of the rifts,
Okay.
and our hero are united by a single goal: find and kill Vecna. But he has vanished, his whereabouts and plans unknown. Complicating their mission, the government has placed the town under military quarantine and intensified its hunt for 11, forcing her back into hiding. As the anniversary of Will's disappearance approaches, so does a heavy familiar dread. The final battle is looming, and with it, a darkness more powerful and more deadly than anything they've faced before. To end this nightmare, they'll need everyone, the full party, standing together one last time. The episodes will be dropping in 3 volumes. Volume 1, consisting of episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4, dropping on Wednesday, November 26th.
It's only
the day
4 episodes, and they have to wait.
before Thanksgiving. These episodes are titled The Crawl, then episode 2, The Vanishing of...
Oh, come on, man. You trying to spoil it for me, bro?
Be part of the 1983 snapshot of Hawkins in the
Don't
Upside
spoil
Down.
the episode name
song
for
we
me,
hear
man.
throughout this trailer is Child in Time by Deep Purple from 1970. It's an epic track that lasts over 10 minutes with lyrics inspired by the Cold War that showcases Ian Gillan's full vocal range and features an instrumental jam session between guitarist Richie Blackmore, who gives one of the best guitar solos ever in the song, and organist John Lord. So while this final season is set in 1987, the music these teenagers listen to, especially Jonathan Byers and the records he would share with Will, would be from the 1970s, tracks exactly like this. Mike and Lucas pedal their bikes after Steve's van leaves while Eleven goes outside to watch them, and then back inside, Nancy, Robin, Elle, and Will sit
Robin's
with
her name.
Joyce, who sit with the comms.
Robin.
There's an overhead
Forgot.
projector that's beaming light directly into Will's face. I can't imagine this is very comfortable, so I assume he might need this light on him for some reason. Robin, as we will see in a moment, wears a sweatshirt reading, "Beam me up." This
Well, yeah, like, Will does play like a crucial role with, like, contacting the Upside Down, right? Because he was there or something like that, right? I remember in season 1 he was like the first one to like get sucked into it or something like that, right? Man, I had to rewatch this, man. It's been years.
Sucks. And in that shot, Will shakes in a kind of trance. So whatever is happening here is affecting him or maybe being caused by him. Then this shot of lights flickering in a hangar where bunks are set up for children. I assume these are the kids of Hawkins who were evacuated out of the town and its various suburbs to this kind of military emergency bunking. We see more shots of Hawkins
I even
under
peeped
military
that.
quarantine, helicopters buzzing overhead, and the downtown area sectioned off with concrete walls, including this central building. This is the Hawkins Library that has the extra walls built around it. The overhead shot that we saw at the end of season 4 of the downtown area showed the rift fissures converging right outside the library, and now we see the rift entrance contained in the building as troops march past. And damn, I would hate to be those soldiers positioned right next to the rift opening. Like, they really drew the short straw. And a reminder that it was in the upside down version of the Hawkins Library where Joyce and Hopper found Will in season 1. There are some vines and scorch marks on the yellow gate, which suggests to me that they have been taking flamethrowers to anything that has started to grow too far outside of the rift. We actually see that happening a little bit later in the trailer. Dustin visits the grave of Eddie Munson that someone tagged with burn in hell and either blood or paint. People still think he was the one who killed the victims in season 4. The Satanic Panic's still going strong. Remember, Max would visit the grave of her brother Billy in season 4, and those graveside visits typically don't go well for people. But that grave was in a cemetery. This one looks like they had to like hide it in the middle of the woods. Dustin wears his Hellfire Club shirt to honor his fallen dungeon master. It's torn from the events of season 4, but he still keeps it. Lucas sits beside Max while she's still in her coma. Above her bed is a drawing of
Weren't they like beefing or something?
Lucas at the movies that Max drew in the season 4 scene when she was listening to Kate Bush nonstop on her headphones. Lucas couldn't talk to her then because of the music, just like he can't talk to her now because of the coma. So he puts up this nonverbal way that they communicated in that moment. Stranger Things introduced an entire generation to D&D. All of a sudden, people who were just Netflix subscribers were looking for groups to play D&D with. If you have ever played D&D or table...
Buddy, is this a paid promotion? No, thank ya. I don't play no D&D.
to experts. You can find a game today and be playing tonight. If you want to start playing D&D, head over to startplaying.com.
I'm good.
Jonathan, Steve, and her son Dustin stand facing the Hawkins lab in the Upside Down as red lightning streaks overhead. Then the original four are back together in this shot after they were frustratingly separated for most of season 4.
Oh,
Mike,
facts.
Lucas, Will, and Dustin. You'll notice that Dustin's index finger and pinky finger have rings, recalling the rings that Eddie Munson would wear. They join hands over this street map of Hawkins that they are marking with D&D figurines, kind of like it's a map for one of their campaigns, which it literally is for what they're going through. We get this moment between Mike and Eleven as they sit beside a makeshift sensory deprivation tank with a door over the top.
Dump your
as Eleven wears a wetsuit. There's an open sack of salt on the left, so yes, they have been using this to salinate the water. And then we get what sounds like kind of a final speech, perhaps, by Jonathan Byers, talking about how these events have tied them together forever. And this whole idea of what happens to you staying with you forever, it's just a theme that we saw a lot of in the 80s stories that Stranger Things was inspired by. It, Stand By Me, The Goonies, stories that center around nostalgia and just a group of outcast kids going through extreme events that define their lives, events that never leave them even when they're adults. Then there's this shot of a kid leaping from one tree in the Upside Down.
Who is that? Yeah, who is that?
Morgan claws after him based on the longer hair and the clothes. I'm pretty sure this is young Will Byers, season 1 Will Byers, a DH Noah Schnapp, making this kind of a flashback from season 1, something we didn't see before. But just part of the time when he was first dragged into the Upside Down.
Oh, that's fire!
Now you'll notice red lightning streaks across the sky. That would not have been happening during the events of season 1. So what's going on here? I don't know. Maybe using a song called Child in Time for this trailer, that might be a clue that some kind of time travel shenanigans or memory flashbacks.
No way did they introduce time travel. Oh god, that's gonna get real confusing real fast.
Being manifested in this moment. Like maybe Will's memories from that time are taking a physical form in the present status of the Upside Down. Linda Hamilton appears in this next shot. Sarah Connor herself. She's playing a character named Dr.
Sarah
K.
Connor.
We don't know too much else about her, but in some photos that have been released, she does have like 2 stars on her lapel, so she might also be like a military scientist. Now, there's this shot that I talked about in my last Stranger Things video of the slimy wall in the Upside Down that Eleven and Hopper look up at. There's a fleshy pod or a bulb or something that looks kind of like an embryo sac containing a creature. My kind of gross theory in the past is that this whole thing could be a sort of uterine wall of the Upside Down, and everything that we know the Upside Down to be could be kind of like a reproductive sac designed to gestate something. Then we see a shot of Lucas holding Max, and she still looks to be incapacitated here, still in her coma. There's a Candy Striper intern huddled to his left as 2 demagogues are hunting them in what seems to be the hospital laundry room. This feels very much like Tim and Lex hiding from the 2 velociraptors in the kitchen in Jurassic Park. The idea of Lucas just having to carry around Max while she's still in the coma just to protect her from the demagogues,
he's dead.
So tense. It's like the final sequence of The Last of Us Part 1 game when Joel has to carry Ellie out of St. Mary's Hospital and you just have to outrun Firefly gunfire and you can't use your hands to fight back because you're carrying someone. Meanwhile, soldiers fire these machine guns at something. I assume it's a Demogorgon that springs out of the rift in a later shot in the trailer. The edit though here makes it seem like they're firing through a wall at Hopper and Eleven, but those seem to be 2 different scenes. We see the moment that probably precedes the 4 being in the Upside Down at the Hawkins lab. Steve is driving while Dustin is in the passenger seat. Jonathan and Nancy are in the back seat, plowing through a rift. It's kind of like they're hitting
I didn't see this.
They're going through some kind of barrier that no one should go through.
Okay.
Side view mirror gets clipped off, and part of this drive might have begun with the shot of
That's me, bro. I'm moving out of Hawkins, man. I ain't finna go through no more rifts, finna tackle no more Demogorgons, man. Get me back to like Alaska, buddy. Or sorry, not even Alaska. Move me back to Florida.
car with the antenna on the roof plowing through backyards later in the trailer. Then there's this shot from the other teaser, Joyce Byers in the barn with the axe, reminding us of her season 1 days with the axe in the house.
Oh yeah.
Behind her on the left are Will and Erica and Robin to her right.
I didn't even
on the
see
higher
that.
level of the barn is this new character
Christmas
played by
lights?
Jake Connolly. We think the character's name is Derek Turnbow,
Oh,
which
who
could
is
be a
that?
nod to episode 3 being titled The Turnbow Trap. But now we know what's on the other side of the doors, a Demogorgon. I wonder if this is the same one that chases a truck in the other shot. On that truck you can see beastly claw marks in the metal plating. We see
those things look crazy.
a shot of Robin and Murray. Bradley
Murray's the GOAT too.
Or I guess Murray either works
He's the
as
GOAT.
or is pretending to be a delivery driver under the name Austin. I just like that we're back to having a lot of Demogorgons. Like they are part of the bread and butter of the series. And then Will Byers, who's been in a convulsing trance for several shots in this trailer, finally faints here. Then we see a shot of Nancy pumping her shotgun, aiming it up at something. And one of the most shocking moments of this trailer, Mike and Nancy's mother, Karen Wheeler, hiding in the water
tense.
with their sister Holly in a
That's
submerged
tense.
bathtub, using the soap suds overhead to hide, holding their breath together and trying not to scream. This is horrifying. And poor
Jeez,
Karen
imagine
Wheeler
to do
being in
that.
the water. All I can hear is Billy saying that he loves how strong of a swimmer she is. And who knows, maybe if she spent more time with some swim lessons with Billy, she could have held her breath longer here. Now, there are several
All right,
photos
bro.
of Holly and Vecna back in his Henry Creel form and scenes that supposedly take place at the Creel house. So something is going to happen, and we think Holly Wheeler is going to get abducted. Then this shot of Robin looking upward at the radio tower as smoke spirals up it, and at the very top, that smoke turns blood red. Now, here's the shot that make people assume that Jonathan dies. Nancy's hands covered in blood as she cries, washing them.
No, yeah,
Now,
facts.
you tell me what that grief looks like. Is it grief for the old boyfriend / friend? Is it grief for the new boyfriend? Is it grief for a sister? Is it just being spent from all of this bullshit? I love this moment when Hopper just holds Eleven's head while she's suited up in a hazmat suit.
That's the first thing I thought whenever I saw that, like while I was watching the trailer. I'm like, someone died.
Let's end this kid.
Someone-
And then after the
someone
earlier
just
shot of
died.
Hopper covering 11 as bullet holes tear through the wall, now we see him in this location, flipping the pins out of 2 grenades and chucking them behind him. And this edits to an explosion as 2 armed soldiers are blown off their feet. Going through this explosion frame by frame, it kind of looks like a billboard that's in the upside down based off of the vines. But the billboard is for Turnbow Real Estate, which
How
could
do you
also be
even
part of the
know?
Turnbow trap in episode 3. And there's this shot of Will screaming as he's in the clutches of Vecna. How is he gonna get out of this? Well, there was that one shot of 11 in the early behind the scenes featurette when she comes out from behind a tree and holds out her hand. That might be her saving Will from this moment. Then a brief shot of Holly
Jeez.
Wheeler reacting in fear, looking like she's in kind of a scouting uniform. And then Lucas, his shirt bloodied on his back in what looks like that tunnel location when he's running with Erica.
They all might die in this season. I'm not gonna lie. Like, how do you beat Vecna, bro?
Someone else.
They-
Then,
like,
speaking of
they
Erica,
all
we
finna
see her
die.
here holding up a syringe. Erica actress Priya Ferguson just graduated high school. Technically, she's supposed to be only 12 or 13 years old in 1987. Eleven's
kinda
working
bad,
out
though.
in the scrapyard that we've seen in past seasons, leaping
kinda
over
bad, though,
season
yeah.
1 bus with what might be a new incoming
bad, though.
flight power. You can see a shockwave of dust bursting outward from when she leaps off the ground. Dramatic shots of Joyce and then Mike.
Oh, it's
clearly
confirmed
in
her
the
parents are back
quarantine zone
then.
of
Okay.
downtown Hawkins, and then this gross looking organic flesh membrane tears apart as the Vecna arrives, and Steve's audio equipment reads the decibel level 100. Cut to black, and we hear Vecna say,
Found you.
so we've only
That's
seen
so
his
hard.
bottom half, and then this wild shot of him from behind.
That's so
holding
hard.
back
He was
the
like
fire
Terminator.
from flamethrowers. The signs in the background behind that fire are the same signs for Melvald's General Store that were behind Mike.
How do you even see that, Eric Voss?
And some others with the flamethrower. Vecna's anatomy has been redesigned for this season, as we are really seeing a new form of this guy after his apparent disintegration in season 4. He looks more heavily armored,
Oh,
and he looks awesome
we all knew he was still
and
alive.
terrifying. And then after the title, we once again see the
I forgot he
Netflix
died,
end now
or-
over the bikes on the floor of the Upside Down, but the vines are only now just starting to snake into place to cover everything. Now, a question I have for you: in this final season,
What's
do you
up?
think we're going to see anything from the stage play Stranger Things: The First Shadow potentially crossing over in these episodes? That play follows Henry Creel in 1959 and its relationship with a character named Patty Newby, an adopted sister to Bob
Man, what? Oh, it's the GOAT. Oh, he's the GOAT, but he died in like the first season, right?
Newby. Yeah, good old Bob. I don't know. I'd love for a cameo by Patty Newby in
Rip
some of
Bob,
these 7
bro.
episodes.
He was a GOAT.
I'm so excited for this.
He literally
show.
sacrificed
I can't
himself.
wait to spend my holiday season.
Even
with
though I think he did it, but he ain't have to sacrifice himself, but he still
Comment
did
down
it.
below with your
Something like that,
thoughts on
right?
This trailer, and a special thanks to one of our YouTube members.
Shout out to Bob. Shout out to Eric Voss, man. I don't know how he caught all that, bro. I don't know, like, you be looking too hard, man. You need to calm down, buddy. But yeah, I'm excited. You know, I'm excited to see what happens, how the story finally ends, bro. I'm finna do like a marathon. I'm finna just rewatch all of it, though. Cause I forgot everything. I just saw part 3 came out, or part 4 came out in 2022, bro. Like, what? I don't remember everything that happened. But yeah, fire, man. This is a good show, so I'm just excited. Yeah.
Hey, walking to the party, they like Gappa, is that you? Finna get